Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to do taking off drainage works. This is a video that you have asked for and we have prepared it for you, and today we will learn how do we take off drainage works. If you're new to this channel, this is a channel where we help students revise for their exams in the easiest way possible, especially on concepts that they did not capture very well in their classes. So if anything is hard for you, maybe it bypassed you in class, or you're doing online learning in quantity survey, or even you're doing part-time classes, you're just studying for yourself, you go and do your exams, this is the right place to be. We are here to help all the students as they revise. We are here to give them the quantity surveying concepts in the easiest way possible. If there's a assignment which is so hard for you, share it to us. We are here to help you, and I'm very glad to announce to you our memberships. We have membership packs for you. The first pack is the content supporters. If you like our content and you want to support it, we would want to invite you. We shall be able to do better content for you if you support our content. You know very well that our content requires a lot of time to prepare for you. We do a lot of calculations, we do some presentations for you, and we present them, so it's quite hectic, and because we want to continue producing more videos at a faster rate, that's why we require your support. In exchange for your support, we will be able to gift you with notes for 5 presentations every month if you take our list package. We have 2 packages. I'm talking about the content supporters package. If you're able to join this content supporters membership, we shall be able to share with you 5 presentations of your choice every month. And also if you're able to join, you'll be able to join our members only chat rooms, whereby we listen to students. Students are able to meet and they are able to ask each other questions, challenging questions, and we always come in whenever you require us to attend to your questions. And also we have another membership package which is called the exclusive members package. This package is specifically for those students who want for us to train them on these quantity surveying things, especially on takeoffs. If you want our classes are in all weekdays. We give assignments to our students, which you do them before the class. Then during the class we discuss the questions that our members have asked. We also get early access to the videos after our classes. We are able to record our classes, and you're able to get early access to our videos, which we share with you. Also, you're able to participate in members only polls to choose upcoming content, the content that we shall be bringing to you. Those who are choosing it are the members only. So and also, if you're in the exclusive member package, you're also able to benefit from the first package, which is you're able to get the notes of 5 presentations of your choice every month, and also you're able to join our members on the chat rooms. Thank you so much. You have been asking how you shall be able to get our presentations and also our drawings. Now here is the opportunity for you. So we are grateful for those who have joined. We have a few members who have already joined. They asked for it, and we have already started. So keep studying for your exams, keep learning from us. We are here to assist you so that you can be able to sharpen your skills to the best of our knowledge and the much we can help you. So we shall begin today's video, and today's video it entails the taking off drainage works. In taking off drainage works, you shall be able to be given a plan and a section, just as all other drawings for taking off. So this one is our plan. Then this one is our section. Our plan, we can see GT1 here, GT2 and WC. These are the sources of our waste. Remember, it's the drainage that we are doing, so it's waste that we are disposing. So from GT1 the waste will come to the manhole, GT2 to manhole 1, and WC to manhole 1. If you study the diagram, you can see that from GT1 to manhole 1 we have 6 meters center to center. That means that the pipe that is coming from GT1 is the collection point for waste here, and GT2 the collection point. Then this here we have the WC. From the WC it's going direct to the manhole. If you see 6 meters center to center, it means the size of the pipe from inside GT1 to inside manhole 1 is 6 meters. Then the type of the pipe is 100 millimeters diameter PVC pipe. GT2 from GT2 to manhole 1 we have 10 millimeters center to center. So from the end of the pipe in GT2 and in the end of the pipe in manhole 1, the distance is 10 millimeters. Then it's 100 millimeters diameter PVC pipe. From the WC to manhole 1 it is 8 meters center to center, and the type of the pipe is 100 millimeters diameter PVC pipe. From manhole 1 we shall bring the waste to manhole 2. The distance between the two manholes, the ends of the pipe, is 30 millimeters center to center, 30 meters center to center, and it is the 150 millimeters diameter PVC pipe. From manhole 2 to manhole 3 the distance is 35 meters center to center, and the type of the pipe is 150 millimeters. The diameter of the pipe is 150 millimeters diameter PVC pipe. Then from manhole 3 to the public sewer, we can see that from manhole 3 to the tarmac road is 6 meters center to center. So from the end of the pipe, which is in manhole 3, up to the tarmac road is 6 meters. Then the width of the tarmac road is 8 meters. Then it crosses over up to get to the public sewer, it's 10 meters. Okay, we shall go to study the manhole schedule. The manhole schedule, we have the manhole number. So we have 3 manholes here. The internal sizes, which is the first manhole is 650 by 900, manhole 2 is 800 by 1000, and manhole 3 is 800 by 1200. Ground level for manhole 1 is 96.5, and invert level for manhole 1 is 95.80. So I'll pause it there and ask, do you know what is invert level? Invert level is the level at the bottom of the inside of the drainage pipe. So if this is the drainage pipe that is draining from manhole 1, this bottom, the inside bottom of this pipe, the level it has, it is the invert level. So it's that level that the waste will be taken from that manhole, because it's inside the pipe, below here the level. So manhole 2, the ground level is 96.5, the invert level is 95. Manhole 3, the ground level is 96.5 and the invert level is 93.9. Public sewer, the ground level is 96.5 and the invert level is 93.30. If we study the section here, I know you cannot be able to see these writings very clearly. I got them from an old book, so I'll read them for you. Then maybe I'll make a drawing that is clear. For those who will be getting the notes, you'll get a clear drawing for this one, as in clear writings for this section. So here up we have the medium duty GI cover, mid frame size 600 by 450 millimeters. Then we had the 100 millimeters thick slab reinforced with a mesh bus, 100 millimeters center to center both ways. Then here we have the 12 millimeters thick waterproof rendering, you know, the plaster, it's waterproof. Then here we have the 150 millimeters thick solid concrete block wall. Then we have the 12 millimeters diameter MS tape, but MS tapes at 300 millimeters center to center, so the distance between one step to the other is 300 millimeters. Okay, then here we have the 150 millimeters concrete, ratio 1:3:6 benching. This concrete that you see here, it's called benching. It's raised in level and then it slopes so that all the waste can drain into the pipe. Then here we have the concrete, ratio 1:3:6 bend. This concrete, its thickness is 100, but this spread here, the spread is 150. So it's a typical section through manhole. I hope we have been able to go the drawings and you have understood. You need to understand the drawing before any takeoff so that you can be able to know exactly what you're taking off. Alright, so we will go direct to the taking off. When we are taking off the manholes, the drainage, we shall start with the manholes. We shall excavate the pits for the manholes. Then we shall do the planking and strutting and the dewatering, which are measured as item, because these ones we have to go to site so that you can get the actual measurements. But in the BQ, we'll just allow a provisional sum for them. So then we shall do the concrete bed, which is here. Then we shall do the walling. Then we shall do the cover slab. Then we shall do these steps at the walls. We shall take off those ones. Then we shall take off the benching, this benching. We shall take off the plaster. We shall do the soil adjustments. You see here we shall be having some space, so we shall return the soil as normal. We adjust the soil. Then we shall lay the pipes. The pipes, this one, this pipe, this one, this pipe, and this pipe. Then we shall first we excavate for the pipes, then we lay the pipes, and before we lay the pipes we dewater. Alright, okay, so we begin. When we are excavating for the manholes, we shall consider the manhole schedule. We go to manhole 1. The length of manhole 1, we shall get it from the schedule, is 900 and the width is 650. 650. So if we want to know what size of the pit we shall excavate for the manhole, we shall take the internal measurements of the manhole, then we shall add the walls. We add the walls. The walls on both sides, they are 150 millimeters. So 2 times 150, 2 times 150 for the length and for the width. So then we have the projection. Projection is this side that is projecting and this side which is projecting. It's 150 times 2 on the length and 150 times 2 on the width. So when we add these, we shall get 1500, and for the width we shall get 1250. So for the depth, so that is the total length, total width. Okay, let's go to depth. The depth, we are told that the ground level is 96.5 and the invert level is 95.80. Remember, the invert level is that this level inside the pipe at the bottom. So we shall take ground level minus invert level, we get 0.7. So that is the depth from the ground level, assuming that the ground level is here. So from here we shall excavate up to here, 0.7. Then we shall add 50. It entails the thickness of the pipe and the any blinding that we shall do below the pipe or the finish. The total thickness is 50. Then the concrete from below here up to the bottom of the pit is 150. So if we add 50 plus 150, we get 200. In meters it is 0.2. So the total depth we shall excavate, we shall take 0.7 plus 0.2, which is 0.9. Remember, we excavate from the SMM, we excavate in stages of 1.5 meters. So this one is not more than 1.5. So we shall excavate all of it 0.9. Okay, we go to manhole 2. Manhole 2, the length, the internal length is 1000, the width is 800. We shall add also the walls both sides For the length 2 times 150, for the width 2 times 150. Then we add 2 times 150 for the projection and 2 times 150 for the projection. Remember, we're excavating the holes, so we shall excavate even everywhere where we shall have something. And remember, the projection is holding the concrete, so we have to excavate it. So the total length shall be 1600, total width 1400. What is the depth of the manhole? We shall take the ground level 96.5 and the invert level 95. So when we deduct, we shall get 1.5, then add the channel, which is 0.2, the total. Remember, 0.5 was for the thickness of the pipe and the preparation that you shall do before laying the pipe, either doing the plaster or even some blinding below the pipe. Then we add the concrete, which is 1.5, we get the total 1.5, and we shall get the total as 0.2 meters. So 1.5 plus the concrete is 150, so 150 plus 50, 200. So this 0.2 is from that 200. Okay, 1.5 plus 0.2, we get 1.7. And this, because it is 1.7 meters, we shall excavate it in stages of 1.5. So for the first one, we shall excavate the first 1.5. Then the second one, we shall take 1.7 minus 1.5. We get 0.2. So the first stage we shall excavate 1.5, then in the second stage we shall excavate 0.2. Remember, we said that we shall excavate in stages as directed by the SMM, because excavating the first stage, should not be as expensive as excavating the next stage, because the deeper we go, the more expensive it is, and the expense is usually measured in ranges of 1.5 meters deep. Alright, so we shall go to manhole 3. Manhole 3, the length is 1200, the width is 800. We add the walls, the projections, we get 1800 and 1400. For the depth, we take ground level minus invert level, we get 2.6. We add the channel to get to the bottom of the manhole, we get 2.8. So for the first stage, we shall excavate 1.5. The second stage, we shall excavate 1.3. Okay, so we shall go now to excavating pits to receive manhole not exceeding 1.5 meters deep, commencing from ground level, and cut away that soil. So all those measurements that we have measured the length for manhole 1, 1.5, the width 1.25, the depth 0.9. We find them, we book them here. So my manhole 2, the length 1.6, width 1.4, and depth 1.5. Manhole 3, the length 1.8, width 1.4, and the depth 1.5 for the first stage. Then remember, for manhole 2 and manhole 3, we have another stage. So we shall take the length of manhole 2, the width of manhole 2, then the balance for the second stage. Now for manhole 3, we shall take the length of manhole 3, the width of manhole 3, and the balance of the for the second stage for manhole 3. So we shall write excavate as above described, 1.5 meters but not exceeding 3 meters deep, commencing from 1.5 meters below the ground level, and also we shall cut away this soil. So these ones here are the I have just screenshot from the previous calculations we have done, so that you can be able to see where they were coming from. The length to follow through. So you can just see here we have the length, the width, the depth, the length, the width, the depth in stages, and the length, width, and the depth in stages. After excavating the pit to receive the manhole, we shall support the walls of the pit, that is planking and strutting, supporting the walls so that we can avoid collapse, together with dewatering the site. That one, usually book it as item, because in the BQ we shall fill it as, we shall give it a sum of money, which we call a provisional sum. because the sum of money can change when you go to site, so that one can only be measured accurately from site, not from the drawings. So in the take of sheet we shall book it as item. Then for the plain concrete, ratio 1:2:3 in 100 millimeters thick bed, that is the concrete below there in the manhole. Remember we shall measure it as you just followed here these screenshots. The length is 1500, the width is 1250, because it is the inside dimensions. You add the wall and the projection. For manhole 2, the length, the walls, the projection, you get 1600 and 1400. Then for manhole 3, the length, the wall and projection, you get 1800 and 1400. So we come and book manhole 1 1.5 1.25, manhole 2 1.6 1.4, and manhole 3 1.8 1.4. Okay. Then we shall go now. We want to after excavating for the pits, now we want to measure the walls. For the walls, we want to measure the area of the walls. So the internal dimensions for the wall in manhole 1, the length is 900, the width is 650. So the perimeter, internal perimeter, is 2 times the total, which is 1550. So the total is 1300. Then to get the center line of the walls, we shall take number of corners times the thickness of the walls. Remember, it's a rectangular manhole, so there are 4 corners. The thickness of the wall is 150. So to get the total, the center line of the walls is at 700. Remember, we have done very many videos for calculating center lines, so I'll not expound on that. If you have a problem with calculating center lines, kindly go to our videos in the description box, which are explaining about the center line, so that you can catch up. Okay, for manhole 2, the length is 1000, width is 800. So the internal perimeter is 2 times 1800, which is 3600. Then we add number of corners times the thickness of the wall, which is 600. So the total center line of the walls is 4200. Manhole 3, the length is 1200, the width is 800. So the perimeter shall be 2 times the total, which is 2000. We get 4000. Then we add 4 number of corners times the thickness of the wall. So here we have the center line for manhole 1, center line for manhole 2, and center line for manhole 3. Remember, the area of the wall, we take the center line of the walls, we multiply by the depth. So now we shall go to the depth. In manhole 1, we can see that we had seen the depth up to the below the concrete was 0.9. So if we deduct the slab, which is 100 millimeters, we shall remain with the depth of the walls, which is 0.8. And to hole 2, the same, it was 1.7 to below the concrete. So if we deduct the concrete, we shall remain with 1.6. For manhole 3, 2.8, we deduct 0.1, we remain with 2.7. Those are the depths of the walls. So if the areas shall be the center line and the depth, center line, depth, center line, depth, for all the manholes. 150 millimeters thick wall, cement block wall, including bending and jointing in cement sand, ratio 1:4 mortar. Then we shall go to plain concrete. Ratio 1:3:6 in 150 millimeters high benching to manhole internal size 900 by 650 millimeters, including finishing smooth to fall. Now we are taking off the benching, this concrete here. This one we usually only measure we count the numbers of benching. Now this one we shall write it in number. This one is for, we have written the descriptions, the sizes of the manholes here. You go to this manhole 2, you write the size, then the ratio of the concrete. Manhole 3, you say it manhole 3, then the dimensions of the manholes, but we just count the number. Alright, so this number will be this one for this one, then ditto, it is 1 for manhole 2, then 1 for manhole 3. Okay, now we shall go to plaster. Plaster is done on the walls. So what will change, the length of the plaster shall be the perimeter of the inside, because plaster is only done in the inside of the wall. So the length on the inside of manhole 1 is 900, the width is 650. So the perimeter on the inside is 2 times the total, which is that 100. The depth, we shall take the depth of the manhole is, we took the 0.9, we deducted 100. You see, then we shall deduct the benching. This benching is 150 millimeters, so we shall deduct it. So we can remain from here to here, which is 0.65 for manhole 1. Manhole 2, the internal dimensions, we find the perimeter. Then the depth, we shall take the total depth from here to here, we deduct 1.5. We remain with 1.45. Manhole 3, the internal dimensions, the internal perimeter, the depth, we deduct the benching. So the area shall be the internal perimeter, then with the height of the plaster, internal perimeter, height of the plaster, internal perimeter, height of the plaster for manhole 3, 12 millimeters thick, cement sand, ratio 1:3, moisture proof, render to cement sand block wall. Now we are on step irons. The step irons, we are told on the drawing that they are on 300 millimeters center to center. So we shall calculate the number of step irons. For the first height, we have 0.65. 0.5 we shall divide by 0.3. We shall get 2 point something, so it's 2. 1.45 divided by 0.3, we get 4 point something, it's 4. Then 2.55 we divide by 0.3, we get 8. So 2 plus 4 plus 8. 12 millimeters step iron, 600 millimeters long, fish-tailed both ends, twice bent including building into the wall. Right. So now we shall go to concrete cover slab. How many concrete cover slabs will we be needing? It is 1 for the first manhole here, which measures 1200 by 950 by 100 millimeters thick, reinforced with 8 millimeters diameter MS bars, and building in cement sand mortar, ratio 1:3, and rebated opening size this one. So we shall have this concrete and this opening, this one for each manhole. Now you need to write the sizes of the manholes separately. All right, so now we are on the CIMH cover and frame. You know we need a cover and the frame. Now the cover measures 600 by 450 and it comes with a frame. So how many covers will we need? 3 times 1, because there are 3 manholes. The covers are of the same sizes, so that's why we are taking 3 times 1. And this is for the cover together with the frame. Now we are on soil adjustments. Soil adjustments, remember when we excavated for the manhole, it was up to here, and this side it was up to here. We included the spread. Now we needed to come and refill this soil up to the ground level. So this area that we shall refill the soil, we need to calculate the center line of reinstatement. How do we calculate it? We take the external dimensions, then we deduct the number of corners times the thickness of this spread. So we take the external dimensions, which is the external perimeter is 5500. We deduct the number of corners times the thickness of the spread, which is 600. So the total center line of adjustment is reinstatement is 4900. The depth will be equal to the depth of the stone walling. Then we go to manhole 2. The external perimeter is 6000. Then we deduct as above 600, we get 5400. The depth is like for the stone walling. We go to manhole 3. The perimeter, external perimeter 6400. Then we less just like above 600, we get 5800. The depth is like for the stone walling 2.7. So the for the volume of soil that we shall deduct from cut away, Remember this soil we had disposed it to cut away. We shall now return it to refill and ram, the soil that we shall use to refill. So the volume of soil we shall take center line, we multiply by the thickness of the foundation spread, which is 0.15. We multiply by the depth. Center line, thickness of the foundation spread, depth, center line, thickness of the foundation spread, and depth. Now we shall go to measuring for the excavation for the pipes. Remember the pipes are coming from GT1 to MP to manhole 1, GT2 to manhole 1, WC to manhole 1. There is also a pipe that is coming from manhole 1 to manhole 2, manhole 2 to manhole 3, and manhole 3 to the public sewer. How we measure the excavation? We shall take the depth, the length of excavation. Then we shall take the average depth. For example, the depth of GT1, GT2, and WC, all of them are assumed to be 300 because they are not given. So, what is the average depth we shall excavate between GT1 to manhole 1 and GT2 to manhole 1 and WC to manhole 1? If for GT1 is 300 and manhole 1 is 700, remember the depth of manhole 1, which we calculated previously. So 300 plus 700 is 1000. Average is 500. Between manhole 1 and manhole 2, the depth will be, the depth of manhole 1 is 700, manhole 2 is 1500. So the average depth is 1100. So average depth, say, it's just 1000. So manhole 2 to manhole 3. The depth of manhole 2 is 1500, manhole 3 2600. So the average depth is 2050. So say 2000. Manhole 3 to sewer. The ground level for manhole 3 here is 96.5. The invert level is 93.9. So the depth is 3.2. So to find the average depth, we shall take the depth of manhole 3. Alright. Now this one is for the sewer. The sewer, the depth is 3.2. Then we shall take the depth of manhole 3. We find the average, which is 2.9. So say 3000. These depths, we shall be writing them in the description column when we are taking off. So now we shall go to finding the length of the trenches. If it is measured from center to center, alright, it's measured from center of GT1 to center of manhole 1, that the length is 6 meters. So how do we find the length of the trench? We shall deduct that which is into GT1 and that which is into manhole 1. Then we shall remain with the trench. First of all, we shall deduct, because it is center of GT1 and center of manhole 1. GT1, we shall take half of it because the pipe is up to, it's measured from the center. So half of 300 is 150. The wall measures 150. So from where the trench begins, outside the GT1 is 300. From center to outside, 300. Manhole 1, from center to outside, we shall take half of manhole 1. You see it's entering through the wind side is 325. Then we add 150 for the wall. It gets to 475. So 475 plus 300, we shall get 775. Those ones were the depths it was entering GT1 up to the center, from the wall outside, then from the wall outside of manhole 1 up to the center. So we shall take the total length, center to center, 6 meters. We deduct 0.775, we remain with 5.225. That is the length of the trench between GT1 and manhole 1. We go to GT2 and manhole 1. This length is 10 meters, center to center. So we deduct from GT2, it's at the center. So half of GT2 is 150. The wall is 150. So GT2 outside the wall to inside center is 300. We go to manhole 1. Manhole 1, half of it is 450. The wall is 150. So from outside the wall to center of manhole 1 is 600. 600 plus 300, 900. So from the 10 meters, we shall deduct 900, remain with 9100. The WC to manhole 1, it's 8 meters. So manhole 1, WC, we don't, in our water closet, We don't go inside, so it is only measured at the center of manhole 1 to the WC. Alright, so manhole 1 to the center is half of manhole 1, 325, and the wall 150. So the total is 475. 475 we deduct from the 8 meters, we remain with 75, 25. Now we shall go to manhole 1 to manhole 2. The length is 30 meters. Half of manhole 1, you see, from manhole 1, it's on the length side. So half of 900, 450. The wall is 150, 600. Manhole 2, half of manhole 2. And you can see the manhole 2 is on the wind side. So wind side is 800. Half of 800, 400. 400 plus 150, 550. We add to 600. The total going inside is 1150. So the total length of the trench is 30 meters minus 1150. We remain with 28,850. We go from manhole 2 to manhole 3. The length is 35 meters. Okay, manhole 2. It's going inside on the wind side. On the length side, you see this is the longer part. So a half of 1,500 plus the wall 650. We go to manhole 3. It's a half of 1,200. It's on the longer side. 600 plus wall 150, 750 plus that's previous 650 for manhole 2. We will have 1400. 35 meters minus 1400, we have 33, 600. We go from manhole 3 to the sewer. From manhole 3 to the tarmac, it's 6 meters. Inside manhole 3, it's taking half of 1200 because it's on the longer side, 600 plus the wall, 150, 750. So 6 meters minus 750 millimeters, we remain with 5.25. Alright, then for the tarmac, it shall be plus 8 meters. We get 13.25. The length of the trench, even for the tarmac, will be 13.25. Alright, so the length of the trenches from GT1 to manhole 1, we got 5.23. GT2 to manhole 1, 9.1. WC to manhole 1, 7.53. So we shall write excavate or drain trench not exceeding 1.5 meters deep, average to receive 100 millimeters diameter PVC pipe. You remember the depths we were excavating. It is only determined whether it's more than 1.5 or less than 1.5. So that for that one, we got less than 1.5. That's why we are saying not exceeding 1.5 meters deep. Alright. Then we go to manhole 1 to manhole 2. From manhole 1 to manhole 2, we shall excavate for drain trenches not exceeding 1.5 meters deep, average 1000 millimeters to receive 150 diameter UPVC pipe. Remember the depth we got, we shall write it in the description column. Then the length of the trench is 28.85 in there. We shall book it there. So manhole 2 to manhole 3, you shall excavate for drain trench over 1.5 meters deep but not exceeding 3 meters, average 2000 millimeters to receive 150 diameter UPVC pipe. This is the depth, then this is the length that we got. Manhole 3 to sewer, excavate as above described over 1.5 meters deep, 3 to 3.3 meters deep, average 3000 to receive 150 millimeters diameter UPVC pipe. This is the length that we got from manhole 3 to sewer. That one is just up to the past the tarmac road. Then we shall excavate. We shall also take off the cost for breaking up the tarmac and reinstatement to make it good. You know, tarmac will cost us extra. So we shall measure the length of the tarmac. Because it will cost us extra, we have to take it off so that we can book it in the big. Then we shall calculate for work beyond boundary. This one is past the tarmac to the public sewer. This one was not in our site. But now this one we have to measure for it because we have to excavate it. But we shall measure it separately. It's beyond the boundary, 10 meters. Excavate as above described over 1.5 meters deep but not exceeding 3 meters deep, average 3000 millimeters to receive 150 millimeters diameter PVC pipe. So always we shall indicate the depth on the description, then the length on this column, on the dimension column. Alright, now we shall go to measuring the pipes. When we are measuring the pipes, we shall take the length of the trench, then we add the walls. Alright, so we start from GT1 to manhole 1. The length of 5.23. We add the wall for GT1, the wall for manhole 1. So the total will be 0.3. We get 5.53. GT2 to manhole 1. The length was 9.1. We add 0.3, 9.4. WC to manhole 1. The length of the trench, plus the walls, we get 7.83. We go to manhole 1 to manhole 2. The length of the trench 28.83. We add the walls, we get this. Manhole 2 to manhole 3. The length of the trench, we add the walls, we get this. Manhole 3 to C1. The length 13.25. We add the one wall for manhole 3. We get 13.4. Right, so and work beyond mesh boundary, the length of the pipe shall be 10 meters. So you come and book the length of the pipes here. GT1 to manhole 1, 5.53, GT2 to manhole 1, 9.40, WC to manhole 1, 7.83. For 100 millimeters diameter, remember you just check here, 100 millimeters diameter PVC pipe laid and jointed in trench. 150 millimeters diameter PVC pipe laid and jointed in trench. This one is for the 3 manholes, manhole 1 to manhole 2, manhole 2 to manhole 3, manhole 3 to past the tarmac. Now this one is work beyond boundary, ditto but beyond the boundary 10 meters. Then you shall take off to build in ends of 100 millimeters diameter pipe in 150 millimeters deep block wall and make it good. You know you have to excavate to make holes in these manholes. So manholes and GTs. So you shall measure how many you need to make the holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5. Build-in ends of 150 millimeters diameter pipe in 150 millimeters thick block wall and make it good. And ditto but 150 millimeters diameter pipe. So when you are calculating the holes, the first pipe, they are for the 100 millimeters diameter. Then another pipe for the 150 millimeters diameter. So the first pipe will be 1, a hole here, 2 here, 3, 4, then 5 from the WC. Then for the manholes, for the 150 millimeters, there is 1 hole here, 2 holes, 3, 4, and 1 here. 5. So 5 will be for 100 millimeters diameter pipe and 5 also ditto but to 150 diameter pipe. So that is the end of our video for the drainage works. If you have any question, write it in the comment section. And thank you for your continuous watching, sharing our videos and liking them. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. So see you in the next video.